Hi, I'm Maggie Tarver. I'm the course leader of the Performing Arts courses at Solent here. I'm going to be talking about a new technique that we offer here called the Purdy-Camp Emotional Method, otherwise known as PEM. I am one of 2 UK trained coaches in this method. It was created by a German director, Stefan Purdy-Camp, about 10 or 15 years ago, and there are 2 dedicated schools, one in Germany and one in Vienna, who just deliver the PEM technique. What is so unusual about it and so exciting about it is that the actors learn to access emotional energies without any sort of personal attachment. Now, up until recently, most actors have used what we know as the emotion memory recall. This was actually created a long time ago by a French psychiatrist and adopted by Konstantin Stanislavski in his development of acting techniques. But Stanislavski found very early on that it was problematic. It was difficult for actors to get into the emotions, and it was difficult for them to let those emotions go because there was this deep personal attachment. He also found that several of his students actually had complete breakdowns as a result of using emotion memory. And so Stanislavski himself started to develop a new technique called the method of physical action, which was taken on and developed further by Michael Chekhov. The PEM method uses a physical process as well, and it recognises that we as human beings have 6 core basic emotions that are innately human. And it approaches the emotion energy as a biological energy with a purpose, not necessarily from the result of something that has happened to us in the past. So it's a much healthier process to go through. We access these 6 emotions through the organs in the body. And this is not entirely new because I think way back the Greeks and the Chinese were allocating organs to emotions. So the 6 emotions are aggression, which is accessed through the liver, happiness, and the purpose of happiness is to relax, and that's in the heart and is 3-dimensional. We have grief, which is in the small intestines and is pulled back. There is lust, which is in the sexual organs forward. And there is fear, which is also in the sexual organs, but the direction is back. And the final one is revulsion, which is in the stomach area, and that's back as well. So the purpose of revulsion is to repel, to get rid of something. So they all have their purpose, and they all have their direction, and they all have those emotions in those organs. We go through a series of processes of recognising the energy that we have, then channeling that through into the organ of the body. And then each different emotion has not only a purpose, but a direction. So it's forward or back. So for example, aggression is forward, to go forward, to get. And we access that through the liver and we go forward to get something. Whereas grief is in the small intestines and the direction is back, but it is to pull because the purpose of grief is to hang on to something, to want it not to go away, and you absolutely have to hold it. So we have these exercises that are involved with going forward or pulling back or whatever's needed depending on the emotion that we go through. So in the classes, I'm going to be demonstrating some of the techniques that we use with the different emotions. It's important to recognise that it's individual because everybody has their own processes and their own patterns that they create in their body. So depending on what's happened to them in their past, how they respond to that emotion, their body, if you like, their physical memory has learned that that's where that energy must go. And so I quite often find with aggression that men access it quite easily but are sometimes quite frightened of their aggression. But with women, the interesting thing is if we're working on aggression, quite often women will automatically default into either fear or grief. And what I will be doing is working individually with everyone, looking at them very closely to see, well, where is this energy going within your body? What is the pattern that you have learned? And then I can break that pattern and channel that energy to where we need it to go so that you're not defaulting to your pattern. And that's crucial for actors because if a female needs to access a role that's actually very aggressive, and they always default to grief, then that's not going to be suitable for that character. We can't bring our patterns and cliches to another character and try and pretend that it belongs to the character. In this exercise here, we're doing what we call a showdown, and this works with aggression. It's designed to make sure that we connect the voice and words with the aggression through the liver so that it becomes a full embodied experience. But another major part of this is that we confront someone else with the aggression and they confront us at the same time. Sometimes people find it easier to put aggression across to someone else, and others feel it easier to have it come back at them. And this is an exercise to explore both of those options together so that we see how we respond in those situations. This next exercise is called Reaching for Happiness. It's a very lovely exercise and we do enjoy doing this. Basically, we get the students to open the heart and the chest and expand in all directions. The purpose is for relaxation. And we create a visionary piece above us of happiness that the students use their arms and breathing techniques to reach up for this happiness and pull it over them so that it fully flows through their whole body. It's a really good feeling. Now, grief is a very difficult emotion for people to access at times. And a lot of people have problems going to where they think they can go to. We have a perception that we think grief is actually weak, but it's one of the strongest, most powerful emotions that we have. The exercise that you see here is where the student is pulling on the arms of another participant, maintaining eye contact, and we have some words to express. We say, please, and I need you. So this is designed to create the vulnerability and access those emotions. The purpose of grief is to hold on to something, which is why we do the pulling. So the pulling indicates the holding on and accesses the emotion a lot stronger. And it's important that we keep the students up. There is a tendency to want to collapse into grief, but if we keep the student up and standing as they work through the grief, through that process, they realise actually how powerful and strong this emotion is. The last one we have here is lust. Lust is an interesting emotion because it's only accessed when nothing else is getting in the way, but it's also the playful one. So it's one we can create for our own benefit, but it's also the emotion where creativity exists. And so we do these exercises where we play in the room. Everyone reverts to about the mental age about 5 years old, generally speaking, when we do this. And we explore different items around the room, fully explore it creatively and play with them all. And so lust is a lot of fun to do and a lot of good to end on. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that little snippet of Purdy Camp emotional method here at Solent. If you're interested and you want to find anything more out about it, you can always drop me an email here at maggie.tarver@solent.ac.uk. Thanks.